Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I'm your host, Army Piper. Got a little bit of green going on today. We talked about this yesterday that I thought there would be a pullback, but it looked like we were setting up to come to the upside. Typically do see a week 6 after an all-time high going into price discovery, where we get into zones of little pullbacks and then rallies and then pullbacks again. But we got to talk about today a $65,000 price target pullback, possibly in 2021. We're going to take a look at that article as Peter Brandt is the analyst that's talking about that. We're going to break it down, take a look at that. And then also, guys, we're going to do some TA, talk about some quantum computing, the whole new threat coming to crypto now. We're going to look at that and a whole lot more today on the Morning Market Report right here in Piper Academy. Let's get it, guys. Class is in session. So good morning to everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you all here. It's always a pleasure. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. We did drop a new video, episode 1 of the Legacy series dropped this morning. It went out yesterday to the members as an exclusive preview of it. And then this morning to the public. So if you guys haven't checked that out, go check it out. I'll show you a thumbnail of what it looks like here in a little while. But guys, looking at the charts, we did get this bounce here on Bitcoin on the 3D trend. It's still coming. I know, guys. It's coming out on the next push, which will be before the end of the month. So 3D trend catching that bottom, moving to the upside. We also saw something similar on XRP, and I'm not going to say any names on this, but yesterday we had a member that was in an XRP trade that he made some mistakes. Some mistakes were made. Overall, we'll just put it, in simplicity's sake, he was down about $16,000 at one point on his trade. At the same time, another trade community out there in their Discord had put in a short on XRP. As he's down $16,000, he called me up on the Discord. I jumped into one of our members' chats with him, and I said, "Look, guy, here's the deal. We're coming in on some key levels here. That line right there, that is the dynamic reactor from Chart Prime." And then I had my fibs on there because I'm a fib trader, and I said, "I think we're actually going to get a reversal here. I think we're going to go up, and we're going to head up to the golden pocket." We'll break this down at a bigger chart here in a little bit, but I said, I think you're going to be okay. Do not worry about this. Don't stress. I think you're going to have your opportunity to get out of this. He got out of that trade of $100 in profit after being down $16,000 on the trade. Guys, that's what this community is about. And so if you don't know, you need to come check out our Discord, because the whole community got behind this. It wasn't just me. I cannot take all the credit on this. Buck, or one of our trade mentors, helped him out on his Ondo trade that he was also upside down on, got him out into profit on that one. And then the whole community came together. Country was there, and Melissa, guys, we're a community, a true community. And if you're looking for something like that, check out our Discord. So shout out to that member, though. I'm so happy for him. He was in my thoughts. I care. I really do care. But you know who I really care about? The guy that shows up every day and sits here next to me while I rattle off at the...
You're muted. I got you.
Oh, it's the guy that sits here with me every single day. OC guy. What's up, OC guy?
Oh, man, thank you so much for that very warm welcoming. Not much, just a great morning today. Great coffee. I did had a little bit of a shave out today. I kind of got wrestled, the grass weeper there. But other than that, very excited to see the news, because I did caught the qubit news here. Quantum computer. Ooh, that's really coming. I already see at the end of the tunnel.
I got to tell you what I did. I actually went into Chat GPT when I saw this, because when we have these trends that happen, right? Mainstream media talks about this, or social media talks about that, right? You normally get these moves in tokens, cryptos that aren't even really related. They'll say it's AI, and it's not even doing anything for AI yet. It's just going to someday, right? So I said, okay, what are the quantum computing related projects that followed the quantum narrative. And QRL was one. IOTA was one. What else is there? So yeah, write these down. We may take a look at these today. They are going to be. Let me get the list up here so I can give you the actual list that that ChatGPT gave me. Quantum resistant cryptos. It's going to be Hypercash. It's going to be ticker HC. Quantum resistant ledger QRL, and then IOTA, which is IOTA. It's MIOTA though. It utilizes unique structure called Tangle, which is claimed to be secure against quantum attacks, providing a measure of quantum resistance. I think, based on what we've seen historically happen, these might be some ones that we look at, not financial advice, high risk to reward, but could be one of those things that happens next, because you know how the narrative likes to play, man. So yeah, OC, you got those. We'll write those down. We do have a poll up today, guys. It said, would you sell if Bitcoin hits $69,000? Yes, stop the pain is one option. No, I'm selling my dog to buy Bitcoin is number 2 option. And number 3, if I sell, it's to buy alts. And as of right now, no, I'm selling my dog to buy Bitcoin is the number 1 answer. So interesting to see that. Let's go ahead and jump into the news. Let's unravel some news here today. MySpace is dead, OC, Lunar B just said. So we're going to go check out the news. We're going to get into that, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about some Bitcoin pricing. So we are getting a little bit of a mood today. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So let's go ahead and jump over to the news. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. While I'm jumping over to the news, if you haven't done so, take this moment to smash the like button, because that's what helps the algorithm and helps us grow here on the channel. If you did so, I'd love you forever. And if you're at it, share. Sharing is caring, because that is how life goes. Let's jump over to the news though, guys. Let's get it. All right, looking at the news here, let's stretch that out, get rid of that white line on the bottom. There we go. All right, get rid of that white line like I'm Ben Armstrong. Let's go. Let's jump into this chart here. This market cap is coming in. I think it's a little bit higher now. Let's refresh that. We're going to be at $3.68 trillion right now. We do have a drop in volume, but we had some crazy volume yesterday, guys. So be aware that this drop in volume, not necessarily a bad thing. It's just normalizing from the 78% that it was yesterday. It could mean that, bears are getting exhausted. And so they're pulling out of their short attempts while the markets are stabilizing. That's what that could mean. So looks like right now we are getting a little bit of a slowdown in the trade volume. Let's jump over here and take a look at this, guys. Bitcoin dominance right now at 55.6%, Ethereum at 12.8. Looking at the CMC altcoin index, we are sitting at a 64, moving up one more mark. It was 63 yesterday, closer to altcoin season. When we hit that bright blue, we're in altcoin season. Current fear and greed index right now sitting in greed at 73. Yesterday was at 76. Last week at 83. So this is slowing down too. It's okay. Let's go and check out, was there anything below? No, I'll come back and get that. Looking at the crypto bubbles here, you can see on the daily, we are getting some green. In the past hour at the market open, we are seeing some pullbacks, but right now, Bitcoin's sitting at $98,900, just under $99,000 after tapping down pretty low yesterday. I had an entry at $93,000, didn't quite make it. That's okay. I am still in a long from about 97,000. So right now, up 1.6% on the daily. Ethereum up 1.5% on the daily. Ethereum's at $3,739. XRP retracing back up to the upside, rebounding 10.2% on the daily after having a massive pullback yesterday. I think it was like 22%. It was pretty harsh. Right now it's at $2.38. That is the trade that we were trying to help our member out on. So it worked. Solana at $226, up 4.7%, just lost about 0.3% there on that daily. Let's see here. Any big movers? Cardano's up 7.7%. That's pretty good. Tron, Avalanche, everything there in the 4 to 5%. Toncoin back up 7.1%, but still down 12.7 for the week, guys. You can see Bitcoin's about the only one here in the top 20 that is up on the weekly besides SWI. It is up 3.4% on the weekly, but it is down 0.7% on the daily, losing one market spot position to H-bar, moving up to number 17 on H-bar. Swedes often down to number 18. Bitcoin Cash up 3.1%, and Pepe taking out and closing that number 20 spot there. Let's jump over and take a look at the markets right now. How are they looking on the TradFi side? It looks like the Dow Jones is up about a little over 0.1%. The S&P up a little over a half, and the NASDAQ just under 1% to the upside, opening in the green. Last night, I put that out in the community also. One of our mentors was talking about a link short, and I said, hold on, pump your brakes, bro. Markets look like they are starting to get a little rally to the upside. So the futures market with the Asian open, and I said, keep that in mind, and there we go. It's getting that today. This actual push here to this upside that we're seeing now, though, coming out after confirmation of economic data that we're getting ready to go over. Russell 2K, small caps and mid caps down 0.42%, and the VIX in the red. So not a lot of volatility today, just a normal slow grind rebuild, it looks like. Core inflation, guys, came out this morning, 6:30 a.m. my time. That is 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast. That is core inflation rate month over month. Was expected to be at 0.3%, forecasted to be at 0.3%. Previously was at 0.3%. Guess what? Came in at 0.3%. Core inflation rate year over year came in at 3.3, was expected to be 3.3, forecasted to be 3.3, was 3.3. Inflation rate 0.3%. Was forecasted and consensus to be that. However, previously it was 0.2%. That shows a 0.1% increase in the month over month. Also, on the year over year, we had a 0.1% increase also. Big one that this came from, guys. Food cost is what brought this up 0.1%. So we are seeing a return of inflation back into the market. That is typically not when you cut rates, right? And we're going to talk about that in a second. Thursday, tomorrow, guys, PPI is going to be coming in, expected to be neutral on consensus, forecasted to be up 0.1%. And then we're going to get initial jobless claims, expected to be on a consensus less than what it was, on the forecast higher than what it was. So flip a coin. We'll figure out what that looks like tomorrow morning. Looking here at this chart, guys, this is the CME FedWatch, CME Group FedWatch of what the likelihood of a rate cut or a rate hike is on December 18th. Now, keep in mind, we have inflation that's going up. We got job numbers that are slightly higher. But what we're seeing is, hey, we're going to cut rates, right? We're going to go ahead and do this, even though inflation's coming back, which I think actually exacerbates inflation. So doesn't really make sense to me. Something odd there. But they are looking at a 99.9% chance on December 18th that there will be another 25 basis point rate cut, despite that inflation return, that 2% getting a little bit far away. If we jump over here and take a look at what the Kabisi letter talked about on this morning, let's bring that in. There it is. He said, breaking. November CPI inflation rises to 2.7% in line with the expectation. Core CPI inflation was at 3.3% in line with expectation. Headline CPI inflation is now at its highest level since July 2024. Inflation has leveled off above. It's leveling out. It's flattening out at around that range of 3.3 to 2.7, I mean, which is above the Fed's 2% target. On a month-over-month basis, both headline and core CPI inflation jumped 0.3%. All inflation data points came in line with expectations for November. The Fed's 2% inflation target has a long way to go. So why are they cutting rates if they're losing this inflation battle? Beyond me. Someone called Jay Powell up. Jay Powell, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? That's all we got there on that, guys. Let's jump over to this article, and we'll talk about this. This is going to be the narrative of today's thumbnail, if you will. I know that looks like a lot of FUD when I drop that on there, but guys, it's got some legitimacy to it. Let's check it out. Is Bitcoin topping out? Gold Fractal hints at 35% Bitcoin price correction ahead. Bitcoin's performance against gold has hit resistance levels that historically align with the start of the 2018, 2019, and the 2021 and 2022 bear markets. Bitcoin looks poised to undergo sharp price corrections in the coming days based on a fractal that measures its performance against gold. For context, the top cryptocurrency has rallied over 132% in 2024, including a 47% rally after Donald Trump's election win in November. Go down here and we'll take a look at this. Bitcoin gold ratio warns of a potential correction as highlighted by veteran analyst Peter Brandt. That's not Peter Schiff, different guy. The higher probability of a sharp Bitcoin price correction comes from its performance against gold futures. The Bitcoin to gold ratio has climbed into a key resistance zone between 34 and 37, a level historically associated with local market tops. At the same time, the ratio's weekly relative strength index, the RSI, has breached the overbought threshold of 70, signaling potential overextension. This pattern has previously aligned with sharp price declines in Bitcoin's pairing, and you can see that right here. We are looking at right here at this level, guys. This is where they're talking about Bitcoin price topped around 74. And you can see here that gave us this RSI overbought, just like back in previous cycles, we had it there, and that's what triggered this one here. So that's the 2 points that they're talking about on the RSI. For example, in March 2024, the BTC pair peaked near $74,000 as the Bitcoin to gold ratio hit 34 to 37 resistance area, accompanied by an overbought RSI. And you can see, where is that other chart that they're, oh, here it is. You can see there, they're talking about this pullback there is 32% back in previous cycles, 55%, 77% pullbacks there when that happened. The price, peak price coincided with the Bitcoin to gold ratio reaching its critical resistance between 34 and 37, reinforcing significance of this area as historically bearish. So if we go down and take a look at what the last part is, how low can Bitcoin price go this cycle based on continuation of the cycle, guys? Bitcoin's previous corrections from local weekly tops have had it test the 50-week exponential moving average. That's the 50-week EMA, the red wave, which you can see right here. That's the red wave coming up right there, okay? For instance, Bitcoin is currently testing the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement level, just under $102,000 as resistance, already showing signs of a pullback. We got rejected at that level. Should the correction ensue, Bitcoin's possibility of reaching $65,000 to $69,000 aligns with that 50-week EMA and the one-to-one fib line. If you guys want to know more about this one-to-one fib line that this arrow is pointing at, go check out the video that I just dropped this morning on the cycle fibs, and you will see exactly what they're talking about on that one-to-one line. But that is in line with the 50-week EMA. Also, conversely, a breakout above the 102,000. Here's your bullish narrative. A breakout above $102,000 would set Bitcoin up for a rally toward $150,000. I actually think it sets it up for a rally to $167,000, which would align with numerous bullish predictions, including mine. Consequently, a BTC USD breakout will have the Bitcoin to gold ratio rise above its 34 to 37 resistance area, delaying the bearish outlook discussed above. Let's go jump over to the duo cam. So, OC, if all this played out, if, you know, we're going to quarter one and we get a 30 to 35% pullback, what are your thoughts on that? That would put Bitcoin, well, it would have two narratives. One, we haven't gone up in price from now until then. Okay, that would be one, which I think is unlikely. But two, you're talking about a 35% pullback in a bull market. Is that a shocker to you?
Not at all.
Not at all. Like, that's normal.
No.
Snafu. As I said on YouTube earlier, snafu, situation normal, all effed up, right? That's term we use in the military. 30 to 35% pullback, guys. Not unheard of, not crazy in the least. It's a Monday, it's a Tuesday, it's a Wednesday, it's a Wednesday, it's just a Wednesday, right? So yeah, I'm not overly concerned about that. Now, I would actually be more concerned that price stayed at this level all the way to quarter one. regardless of a pullback. That would bother me more, right? Where's all the market strength at? So, yeah, I think there is a possibility that we could see that pullback, but I don't know that that 35% pullback would be $65,000 or $69,000. I think that we would have a continuation of that 50-week EMA moving to the upside and to whatever price we are at in relation to that level of the 50 EMA would be the pullback to that that we would be seeing, which could be 30 to 35%. In fact, I've got a video coming out next week on just that, when we could see cycle tops and what if we did get a pullback in quarter 1. So be watching for that video. That will be the second video in the legacy series. Let's go jump over into Bitcoin now. And let's take a look at that. And then don't forget, we got that quantum computing thing to talk about. So let's jump over. All right, guys. Did we go? We did not go. Army charts. There we go. Please work button. Guys, we are sitting here right now looking at XRP. That is not Bitcoin. There we go. Let's get back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently breaking above $99,478 and running towards about 99.5 right now. Yesterday, yes, and I know, guys, 3D trend. When 3D trend, we did tap underneath the bottom there. We had a nice trend line here from Chart Prime's indicator. Trend lines automatically print a trend line. I'm watching for some levels up here. One thing that I'm watching is this. Let's go ahead and throw this on. Somewhere in this ballpark is a nice little trend line that we're going to be watching. That's going to be right around $99,700 on this price line. So keep an eye on that. But I think that we do break above this. There's some bullishness moving on today in the market. What is it? What the oscillator is telling us right now, we had a trend shift over to a green oscillator ribbon. We did get several peaks down here. Let's go ahead and bring this in and show you what the story that was told yesterday here. We got the volume is on its way back up, starting to gray out back into green out of the red. We had 2 clips here of the True 7 that tells us, hey, you're near the bottoming. It's time to go back up. And money flow is returning to the green. Guys, I think we're going to have an upside today. I'm watching for levels for us to hit. Sir, go back. Thank you. What I'm watching, the levels that I'm watching for us to hit, we're going to be when I come in here. Let's go ahead and bring on a fixed range volume profile. Let's go ahead and bring on my VWAP. There we go. We broke back above the anchored VWAP, guys. We got a level also, value area high, sitting right at 99,936 coming off of this volume node. From there, we've got a level coming in right about $101,500. If we go ahead and jump over, though, and take a look at the liquidation heat map, guys, liquidation heat map on the weekly is telling us a story, and you can see that right here, starting at about $101,700 up to about 102.8K is a nice area of liquidity. Go above that, though, we've got one sitting at about $105,000, bottom side about 104.5. So 104.5 to $105,000 upside based on the liquidity heat map, the liquidation heat map. Lots of levels sitting up there. We are about to break through some key resistance areas on Bitcoin. OC, let's kick it over to you. Let's take a look at your chart, see what you're seeing. But that is the one thing that I am watching closely there is that $100,000 to $101,000 area. We break through that, we're set to go even higher. What do you got for us, bro?
Absolutely. Yeah, pretty much in the same ballpark here. Remember that yesterday we were talking about a possible breakout happening, right? And also the dynamic reactor not only coming in strong with that support, but also just looking at the box of entry that we have been following along, right? Another thing that we did yesterday was the update of this trend line, remember? And also assume that this is going to be our next pivot and look at exactly what Piper is aiming at. Well, just slightly below maybe 99.700. Remember that this depends on where we are looking at this chart to be. Every price action, it is slightly different depending on the price source where you're seeing it. But other than that, I'm in the same ballpark, right? I mean, this trend line is just there for reference. Let's just get it out of the way. And we have that double bottom. So we're forming structure here. And then we have taken off previous highs in here, right? So we also have structure being making here. Something that I was talking about a couple of days ago, it was the creation or the actual update, because I was expecting something like this to happen here, right? Then same day or yesterday, same day, I did update it and mentioned that updating from what was it, Monday, I then will be just expecting something more like this or like that in the worst case scenario. Sorry, in the best case scenario. So instead of a very dramatic up and down, a slight just curve to make that continuation, we did not have exactly that shape because we did not have the bullish divergence. But as you can see, we had the same result and the same pattern playing out here. It's time now to for me to update this trend line. It's slightly off center here, but what I'm trying to catch, it is this secondary flip of the ribbon, right? So we already have the flip of the ribbon. We are on the green candles and we're pushing through the zero line. I think that we're gonna be having a defined structure in within 4 hours or maybe less. As soon as we are closing this candle, I think that it is going to be a positive close of the candle. And as you can see also, we're following on what I was expecting. As always, seems like my timing is just slightly bit off. Let's just adjust that, adjust for the sake of updating our analysis. And if we can make this maybe a fake out retest, this is going to be my next possible entry. If you did not enter right here, we were breaking back up. Don't worry, you're still within the threshold area. Why? Because we are not above the zero line. Let me guys give you just a point of reference in case you are feeling that FOMO. Because I was also there here. Look at your oscillator. Usually, once we break above the zero line, that's what I give that much importance to the zero line. Look at that. What we're looking it is for empty zones at the bottom, right, or at the top, like that. And then where we're looking for it is the oscillator bunching up or playing out or stocking up right there above the zero line. What happened as we broke above? Look at that. Beautiful. If you miss the first movement, that's all right, right? You still have that chance to keep riding as long as we are above that zero line. And that plays over and over and over. For example, right here, look at that, right? And ending right there. So you can see you have caught that movement once again, starting here, right, and ending right there. And once again, you could have caught it, that movement. So do not feel that FOMO or try to ignore it at least for a little bit. Remember that we move based on a plan or a strategy. And if you miss your first entry, don't worry, there's going to be another one. Very quick before I pass it over to you, Piper, I want to just bring up something that you were also talking about, right? Which is, well, as we were going down in price action in Bitcoin, well, guess who is buying, right? And you asked me that same question yesterday.
No way, shocker.
And now we have. Yes, exactly. So, I mean, guys, this is only natural, right? They see that opportunity, they caught it. Do not sell them your Bitcoin, move along the whales, right? You know what the whales are doing. And again, have a plan. If you have limited capital, as I do, and I also guess as you do, disperse that capital over time to make the most out of it. So yeah, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. So let's talk about APTOS. And you can go ahead and pull this chart up while we're talking about this. But we got an article here, and then I'm going to talk about some other unlocks. So if traders, get out your notebooks, turn to page 312, please, in the crypto handbook, and we'll go over what's going to be on the quiz, okay? Classes in session. Let's go. Let's jump over here and let's talk about this, guys. APTOS market cap tanks by $2 billion ahead of the $134 million token unlock. APTOS market cap plunged by $2 billion ahead of a $134 million token unlock, fueling volatility concerns. It will release 2.11% of its supply, potentially creating a supply shock that could pressure prices further. It's diluting the price, if you want to know what that means. With indicators bearish, APT risk dropping to $9.65 and less demand rebounds, pushing it towards $15.33. Okay, that's the article I want to talk about there. So what can we do to get ahead of this on other tokens? Let's jump over here and take a look at this from Mucal Crypto Zone. He has a nice little list here for us, and this is why I do all the research for you guys so that you guys don't have to do it. Banana Gun will unlock 250,000 banana tokens on December 8th. Already happened. Got it. Aptos will unlock 11.3 million Aptos tokens on December 11th. That's today, constituting approximately 2.13% of the current circulating supply. Axie Infinity is the next one, guys, that they are going to be putting out about 0.53%. Nothing major there, but AXS, I mean, it's Axie Infinity token. Got a token drop coming up. StarkNet, that is Stark, STARK or STRK token, December 15th. 3% of its current circulating supply is going to be dropped, 64 million tokens. And then Arbitrum is unlocking 92.6 million tokens on December 16th with 2.26% of its current supply. Guys, StarkNet, Arbitrum, I don't think that I would worry much about Axie Infinity. I mean, it could, but it's a very small unlock. But I would be watching StarkNet and Arbitrum for some areas to start some shorts. Not financial advice, but could be a potential move there coming that we could take advantage of based on this unlock. We've already seen what happens with things like, I got to move you. You were so tiny over there, OC, like you were sitting at the kids' table or something. We could see some sell-off happen there, like we saw with Aptos. So let's jump over to OC's chart. Let's see what he's seeing on Aptos. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go take a look at Arbitrum and let's see what it's looking like. Coming over to your way, man.
Absolutely. So right here, guys, I think that this is an amazing opportunity to start learning a couple of things in charts and also how to handle this kind of movements, right? First of all, we have a channel, uprising channel. Usually those channels tend to break to the downside, right? Also, we have our very powerful dynamic reactor, which, as you can see, we tend to look for those breakouts with big body candles. Look at that big body candle going through, big body candle going through, based on previous candle size, right? Based on previous candle size. Usually that indicates a clean breakthrough and that this is not a fake out. Usually that is the case, right? So here's another thing that we need to look for. It is that we are below the zero line. Remember how much importance I gave to this, but also look at that. We are on the, let's just call it a squeeze momentum, on a green squeeze momentum. So that means that the next upcoming movement, or as long as we're in that green cloud, the immediate movement should be bullish. That doesn't matter if you are in a downtrend, right? Even if you are in a downtrend, you still have bullish movements, right? So that's exactly what we're seeing at this point. So let's do just a quick long story short. As we can see right here, we have a sell signal or a change of trend signal. If you want to be a little bit picky on why is it playing out there, let's just measure this one. As you can see, the trend channel, the trend line was broken right here. We do not enter in these candles. We enter on pullbacks, right? And then off we go. But something important is, well, we have bullish news. We're seeing that moving to the upside, and this is exactly what you could be saying. Well, narrative might be bullish, but I see everything bearish. So how do I play this up? Well, first of all, we need to follow this chart. So at this point, it's not about the breakout, it's about your retest, right? So the first thing I'm going to be looking is a possible entry as a short with a as cheap as I can go with my stop loss right here and aiming before the previous high just to secure my first TP target, right? And then, guys, remember that if I keep having this momentum pushing upwards, I will, or most likely I could be breaking above the zero line. And guess what would that be doing? That will also be putting pressure on that high volume area. And if I have a clean breakthrough, it's gonna take me out, which is fine. And then it's not about the breakout, it's about your retest. Reverse your entry here, long position. There we go, as cheap as you can go, and then you aim for the previous or below previous high. So that's how I'm going to be playing out. Am I in a possibility of getting stopped out? Absolutely. But at this point, I'm following first charts and then narrative. Why? Because this is not something like US country narrative. This is a news driven narrative. So other than that, that's what I got on Aptos. Seems like we are still ranging, but we could be just teasing a little bit with this movement in here. Guys, be careful. We are still below the zero line. Turning it back to you, Piper.
All right, what I'm seeing on Arbitrum, guys, if we're looking at a short potential on this, we did get an indication of oversold. We got an uptrend. We got a VWAP oversold also printed here on the oscillators. We have turned to a green oscillator ribbon. However, money flow is still red right there, right? The volume does look like it's coming up a little bit, but that's going to give us support to get up to this range that I'm looking at right now, which is about a $1.13 short range. I do think we could return up to that level again. What starts that level? Well, that would be coming up to hit this resistance node right here in that ballpark, getting that entry, setting a stop loss just above the previous wick. Also, the value area high there. In the liquidity area, I would nudge past it a little bit just in case that liquidity area above that wick is where the market makers move to grab that liquidity before they come down. So I've compensated that in with the stop loss also. While I am watching this level down to here, that is the value area low of the fixed range volume profile. Also, we do have, again, money flow in the red. So that would give time for this to come back up. It would give us the move to get to our entry, and then that would be in the timeline somewhere, in the next 3 days where we start to get that sell off coming again. It would be a lower high at that point, setting up for a lower low and be a change of that trend there. So that's the look that I would do if I was going to do this. And that is, by the way, based on that Arbitrum unlock, and it is a 3.5, so a 1 to 3.5 risk to reward ratio. So that's the trade setup that I would be looking at doing on Arbitrum if we are going to see this happen. So let's jump back over to DuoCam. Let's talk about quantum computing, OC. So we got a lot of news that's been coming out on quantum computing. Did you say you had an article too on it, on Qubit?
No, I did not pull it up. I was reading on it yesterday, but
Okay.
I am informed about it. So
yeah, so it's the Google. If you guys aren't tracking, where is it at? Quantum computing. Let's jump over here and let's talk about this. Quantum computing stock rockets higher by 40% after Google breakthrough. Hedge fund manager is long. If you guys aren't tracking this, Google on late Monday said its new chip called Willow signals a breakthrough in quantum computing. According to the search giant, the semiconductor can reduce errors exponentially as we scale up using more qubits. A qubit or quantum bit is a unit used to encode data in such computers. And now let's just jump back over because we don't need to stay on that too long. We'll just talk about this. The big threat is that they're talking about the threat to Bitcoin based on quantum computing capabilities and the security of a blockchain, right? And I guess there's an article I was reading talking about that Bitcoin uses two different types of narrative for security, and that one of them would counteract that. But are we getting to the point where quantum computing is a realistic threat to the blockchain, if it's centralized or decentralized? What are your thoughts on that, OC? Should people be concerned at this point yet?
not at all. I mean, I did comment at the beginning of the video that I see the light at the end of the tunnel, that this is coming for real. But guys, we are very, very, very far away. First, from them actually using in real live applications. And then if they're going to be using it, well, then let's just follow the money, right? What is the market cap of Bitcoin? What is the market cap maybe of a big industry? What is the market cap of a big country, right? So what would it, I mean, if I would be an analyst of war or something, I would rather go for security zones to hack within them, right? And maybe appropriate or drop prices of resources that I can take power control or purchase power above it, right? On it, sorry. And then, well, then bring things back to normal, right? At the end of it all, if we can pull really quick, just a quick flash to my screen. At the end of it all, at this point, those are the real quantum computers pictures, right? Guys, you don't take this in your pocket at this point, right? You need a ginormous amount of energy, especially on cooling, right? To make a qubit work. So yeah, I know we're talking about Google, right? We're talking about big AF companies. That's basically all I wanted to show, the real quantum computers. But as far as being a real threat? Not really. At this point, remember that yes, qubits are working, but not into a practical way at this point. Right now, what they got it is they run a little calculation, and then based on the speed of that little calculation, they predict the number of magnitude of faster units per normal supercomputer, right? So it's
Right.
not that they're running benchmarks one next to the other one.
Yeah, I got an article here on it. CCN actually did an article on that exact topic yesterday. And oddly enough, actually, let's go here. Let's put you on here with me. You can see here that, and I won't put you at the kids' table either over there, OC. You can see here, this is a picture of actual Willow. This is Google's Willow quantum computer that they have right now. Massive, massive beast of a computer. And there's an actual piece in here. Quantum computing and Bitcoin, a future threat. Willow's high computational power has led some to question whether it could eventually breach the security mechanisms that protect Bitcoin. However, leading experts, including Ava Labs founder, believe that quantum computing still poses no immediate threat to cryptocurrency. He emphasized that while quantum computing's potential is impressive, the technology currently operates on a linear scale, meaning that the window for a quantum attack on Bitcoin is still very small. Bitcoin transactions use a two-way hash function that keeps public keys hidden until a transaction is initiated. This makes funds at rest quantum resistant. So funds that are not being moved are quantum resistant, as attackers would have no information to exploit. Quantum risk arise only when a transaction is triggered. I got to do something. I see a little edge on my camera that is just OCD is driving me nuts. There we go. Got it. Arise only when transactions are triggered, exposing the public key. But even then, an attacker would only have a brief window to act, typically between 5 to 30 minutes before the transaction is recorded to the blockchain and forever written in history, right? So that Bitcoin for the Satoshi era, which used older pay-to-public key, P2PK format, might be more vulnerable as this format exposes the public key and gives attackers more time to attack. So initially, in the beginning anyway, Satoshi's vision has always been for Bitcoin to be quantum resistant. So again, not a huge worry there. It goes into a lot of, algorithmic elliptic curvature, digital signature, stuff like that for its encryption algorithm and secure hash. It's two major encryption algorithms is what I was talking about earlier. So as of right now, not a concern. However, Retro Mike Tech, who's very smart on this, by the way, we got the most, we got the smartest people in our community. We got the best people in our community. They're the smartest. You can ask anybody. Our people are the smartest. Dynex lets you simulate qubits. I did quantum computing testing for them last year. They aggregate resources together from miners and simulate qubits. Interesting. Now, Retro Mike, would that actually increase the security of crypto by doing that? Working in return as a quantum source? I think that's what you're saying there. Let me know, man. That's interesting. But yeah, guys, I do think that the big narrative to take away from this is that people are talking about quantum computing. Quantum resistant cryptos might be something that the media and social media start talking about, and we could see some moves on some of those tokens. Did you pull up any of those tokens that I had you write down, like IOTA, IOTA? Do you have that one up on your chart?
I can pull it right away.
Yeah, I'd like to go take a look at that because I think that some of these, like QRL and MIOTA, might be sitting at some levels that we could, do a little risk to reward play on them and see what happens. Let's jump over to your chart and check it out.
Absolutely. Let's check it out right now. And we have this is not quantum. It's just as good as, if not better than, right? Look at that dynamic reactor. We already have a reaction on the dynamic reactor. So I was also, again, I always get amazed when somebody tells me, show me the charts and I tell you the news. Well, then look at that beautiful bouncing here. Of course, that this is a narrative driven. Nonetheless, we still need to overcome a couple of things. The first thing it is, of course, our big resistance that we can see right here. Let me just adjust this ever so slightly. like that. There we go. I think that looks way better. And then let me also throw on a couple of let's just say predictive ranges and order blocks. Here we go. So let's get started with my money flow POC, which not only shows me a higher level of an area. Also, look at that. By the way, we have a beautiful automated trend line being plotted right there. By Chart Prime. So shout out to Chart Prime right there. And also we are coming into the green cloud, which means the upcoming movement should still be bullish until we see the flip of the ribbon. All right. So the flip of the ribbon might be a real trading here in this area because we have the zero line. So let's just be a little bit careful at this point. This could be the movement that we could be looking at, right? And until I see the structure being formed, or at least previous lows being retesting here, and then also creating a higher low, that's when I then will be considering jumping back into IOTA for maybe a long-term movement or mid-term movement, I would say. Why? Because this also follows narrative from Bitcoin. Something important, guys, that I want to pull up, and I would like to bring up Piper here with me, or me going to Piper. It is that a real threat at this point, guys, it is not quantum computing. It is AI. Remember that news that I believe Target sent a girl, a minor, some publicity about kids diapers, something like that, right? So for her to purchase, and the dad created a lawsuit against them. Well, further on, it came to be that this girl was indeed pregnant, and then based on her search result, her data was sold, and then the big algorithm for Target, or I don't quite remember, Target, Walmart, something like that, did follow up and understood it, and then send it their targets. So guys, that was even before AI. So the amount of data that you have right now on public, right, plus AI, that is a concern. Not quantum bits, no qubits, sorry, at this point. But yeah, other than that, just going back to the analysis, IOTA making a good move. Possibly, if we can break through the zero line, we could have the next bull movement on it.
Awesome. Let's go jump over to XRP on my chart. I'm going to take a look at that. I said I would at the beginning. And then RSAN246 asked for Solana. So if you can take them for a ride on that Soul Train OC, I'll be right back to you for that. I'm going to go ahead and jump into XRP. All right, let's take a look at XRP here, guys. Looking at XRP, this is what we were talking about yesterday in our community, was that we had, I'm looking at a 4-hour chart here. We had this area down here, and you can see this bar at the bottom. This is called a trend power bar, okay? And what it indicates is the strength of the trend. So this was a downward trend. It's a bearish power bar. It started to wane out right there. You can see that color change. That was pretty much the bottom. We had another one here, and it actually went into the pink, the little peach color bar right there indicates a very strong reversal, which is what we got exactly as we were hitting the dynamic reactor from the Market Oracle Pro Plus. So guys, Chart Prime indicators for the win, man, all day long. Give us this bottom here. This is where that short was entered on another community, and I said to my member, don't worry about it. I know that you're down big time on your trade, but I think that we're going to get a big bounce here. That big bounce came off that dynamic reactor. This is what I talked about on the power bar, and then we had the uptrend started to kick. We had already clipped on that True 7 there. That's that bright pink True 7, which is pulling data from 7 different sources. It's basically 7 indicators in one, giving you giving you the indication of if it's bottom or topped move, right? And so given that we had hit that and got a good bounce on the dynamic reactor, I said, here's what you're going to watch for on my fibs. I said, we're going to come up. If we break the 618, we're likely going to be heading to the 0.66, $2.37. Also, point of control running off of this fixed range volume profile, giving us extra confluence there. Could likely pull back. However, if we get a bounce on the 0.618 on a retest, which we did to the dollar, we will likely be heading up to re-break that 6.6 level, and from there could be looking at heading to the 7.86, at the very least the value area high. This is playing out flawlessly right now. Some points of caution that you need to be aware of, though. We do have an auto printed trend line here from Chart Prime on the Dynamics Pro, giving us a level of resistance right now. Let me turn that magnet off so we don't lock onto it. That's going to be coming in right now at about $2.50. Psychological number on top of an indication of resistance on a linear line that we've had already. Diagonal resistance there, right? But if we break through that, look for a retest on that value area high. I'll go ahead and put this on here. This is the zone that I would watch for that target value area high to the 0.786 of the platinum pocket. If you guys are wondering where these fibs are pulled from, I will show you. These fibs that are playing out so beautifully perfect are pulled all the way back from the 2018 time period to the bottom of XRP on Binance. And these are playing out like clockwork when you look at our current levels. So guys, fibs, they're forever. They're forever, just like Bitcoin. I served in the Army. I was in the United States Army, active duty, 22 and a half years, Deck. Appreciate you asking that, man. Retired in July 1st of last year. So a little over a year now. I've been a veteran, a civilian, and it's a great feeling. So what I'm watching right now on the 1 hour, guys, is those levels. On the 4 hour is those levels. We've got a trend line again coming in at about $2.50. I just saw something interesting. At about also $2.50 on the hourly, we do have this quantum reactor coming in too. So double confluence there, the 4 hour to that 1 hour. So let's go ahead and just put that on there, $2.50. Add that horizontal line, go back to the 4 hour, boom, shakalaka. It's going to be coming in right there with that trend line also. That's the resistance level to watch. If we break it, look for that retest, and we're heading up to $2.80. That's my TA on XRP. Bro, I'm coming over your way to your chart, and let's see what you got for Solana.
Absolutely.
Deck, thanks for your service. Hold on. Deck, thanks for your service. He served in the U.S. Air Force. So, shout out to him. Got to give a shout out to veterans, man.
Nice. Absolutely. By the way, being a pilot, a U.S. Air Force pilot, that was my dream job. In fact, I do have my story for that, but that's for another time. Well, by the way, I never served, but thank you for your service. Let's take a look at here at Solana, what we got right here. So basically, we're losing the dynamic reactor, right? Right away, we can say it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and off we go. But we are also in a green squeeze momentum. So that is giving me a little bit more push through, right? Let's just take a look at what happened here. And this is what I've been expecting with many of those coins. Why? Because they are Bitcoin reactive, right? What does that mean? If Bitcoin moves to the upside, most likely they also going to be following. If Bitcoin moves to the downside, they also going to be following, right? But so far, make no mistake, we are still bearish until we make a clean breakthrough in retail. Let's just bring a couple of other things in here because I'm not ready to start shorting Solana at this point. And this is why. If I start showing you here my stuff, the first thing that I see is that my quantum reactor is a little bit up high, which means I still also have some room for this momentum to keep pushing through and then bouncing back down. If that makes sense, well, then it is because we're going to be having a clean, or we could be having a clean breakthrough, right? It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and then you change or swap your strategy, and off we go. Is it there? No, it's not there yet. Let's take a look at my next indicators. Here we have money flow POC slightly above, and also let's also bring up my predictive ranges. Where are you, predictive ranges? There we go. In my predictive ranges, along with my areas of liquidity and order block, because order blocks are also magnetic, are very close to these zones, which means that I am expecting to reach those areas before coming back down. So for me, what's going to be the game plan? First, I think it will be a much better play through in looking at the 15 minutes, but so far on the 4 hour, we'll be going to this area, seeing a a clean breakthrough here also, and then preparing for the retest. This could be one candle, next candle wicking back down and then jumping back in. In that case, I will be going for a long position here, and as soon as possible, moving my stop to entry. Right, I don't want to leave anything for the lock, and that is because, let me show you one more thing. If we use this free tool and they just push it up, we are into a downwards range. Usually downwards range breaks to the upside, but we don't know till where. So far, if we get to this area, not only we have confluence with our indicators, let me show it, there we go. Not only we have confluence on our indicators, we also have confluence on the trend line, on the bearish trend line that we have coming up here. Does that mean that most likely we're going to bounce down? Yes, but we have also our dynamic reactor. So until I see not losing the dynamic reactor and staying above U0 line, just like we did in here, well, then that's going to be my next movement, for entry. On the 15 minutes, very quick, it's not time to start jumping in until we either break with strength this trend line here. Remember, breakout, retest, and off we go. Or we start losing this other trend line here, and then, as we know, breakout, retest, and off we go to dynamic reactor and support area. So far, we are in a waiting zone, but we are building pressure on the 15 minutes, most likely to the upside. Turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Hey guys, if you guys don't know, we dropped a video, first video of the Legacy series. If you missed that part of this session when we were talking about it today, but it is this thumbnail right here. This is the one that you guys need to watch for. It says Bitcoin price prediction this cycle. Let me. Why are you so small? Get down. There we go. Bitcoin price this cycle is based on some fibs. Also talking about that 1-to-1 level that was in the article. Going to go ahead and play a little teaser. This was built by Crypto Trade. So shout out to him supporting our community. I love that dude. Let's go ahead and check this out, and then we'll head out of here. Can you hear that? Is there audio to that?
No.
Oh, you jerk. You know what? Fine. We'll do it this way. Watch this. Let me. Okay, fine. It's going to be a jerk. I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to do another way. I hate when this happens. Let's do this. Let's bring this in. Let's pop that on, and then let's go there. We're going to with audio.
Now we have audio.
And of course, for this first episode, we'll be looking at this chart. This is a 1-week chart of the entire history of Bitcoin price action, overlaid with one of the most powerful tools in crypto analysis, Fibonacci retracements and Fibonacci extensions. The Bitcoin halving, marked by these yellow vertical lines. Each halving has triggered a predictable sequence of events: accumulation, breakout, parabolic rally, and eventual correction. Now let's break this down section by section, starting with the Fibonacci retracement levels. First, let's talk about the 0 to the 0.382 Fibonacci zone. Highlighted in green, historically, this has been Bitcoin's accumulation phase. Next, we move into the 0.382 to the 1-to-1 zone, spanning from the green to the red levels, and it includes the 786 level. This is Bitcoin's breakout phase. Once Bitcoin finds its bottom, it starts climbing, tested resistance at the 0.786 level before finally breaking through to the 1-to-1 level, which I call the parabolic trigger. Here's where things start to really get exciting. The 1-to-1 level up to the 1.618. Highlighted in blue, this is where Bitcoin historically enters the rally phase, going full parabolic. This cycle, if the 1.618 extension is I can't give away the teaser on it. Can't give away the teaser on it there. But that is the video, guys, a small segment of it there that we are going to be, that's in that video. You guys need to go check it out. Really, I think it's pretty good. It did a lot of work on it, and it's just the first of many that we're going to be doing weekly. But guys, go check out that video right there and see what you guys think. Make sure, share it, drop a comment, all that good stuff. Help us out. Yeah, no sound. I saw that, but I fixed it. I got it. There's Alexander G just dropped a video for it. OC, we're about to head over to the frat house. It's time to go see our frat mama. See if she's got some tendies for us at the frat house so that we can go get that. Bro, thanks for showing up today. Like every day. And what do you got for the people on the way out, man?
Not much, guys. Yesterday, I think that was a little of a mess. Today, just guys, be careful.
It was a mess. You don't have to call me out for it.
What? No, it was. I mean, talking about my things here, my precious things. Now you can see them, right? Now I showed them.
Got it.
I don't know what other mess you were talking about, but yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. Quick reminder to smash that like button. It really helps with the algorithm and it helps us in here to keep bringing you all the notes that we have for you guys. And other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and head out of here. Guys, I appreciate everyone joining us here today on the show. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget that we do have Trade Academy this afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've got Crypto Nightcap tonight with FD White and TradeFly, and then Markets After Dark, wrapping out the evening, late evening with LBC, and then back tomorrow morning. Good morning, Crypto with BC Port Corp, and we'll be right on right after that at the market open, talking to you about everything you need to know. Thanks for joining us today. Let's head to the frat house, drop those graduation caps. We'll check you guys out tomorrow morning. You guys have a good one. Trade safe, and as always, here's a stop loss. Later.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, former Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude!